Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. The Mishnah Yomi is holding in the fifth parak of Terumot at the eighth Mishnah. Yesterday's Mishnah Yomi brought a case of a seya of Truma that was batal, and then he's Ola. He picks up the seya, replacement seya, to give to the Kohen, and then some more falls in. So here's another wrinkle, a similar case. Mishnah 8, seya Truma shenafla l'meya. So a seya of Truma fell into 100 of hullin. So it's batal, it's ola, as we call it. Great, not great. Lo hisbik l'chabiyah. He didn't have time to raise up the replacement seya, to take out the seya from the mixture which stands in for Truma. Now, Rabbi Eliezer said that was mamish, had the status of halachic Truma. The Chachamim disagreed. They said it's like a mixture. We learned yesterday. But this replacement seya, you have to take this out. You can't eat the whole mixture. It contains truma. You have to take out the replacement seya to give to the truma. He didn't do that yet. Od shenafla acheret. Now another seya of truma falls in. So what does he have right now? He has in the bottom of the bin 100 seya of hullin, and then one truma fell in, another truma falls in. So now he's got 2 seya of truma in 100 of hullin. Hareze asura. The sages say this is asur. He's got a problem. We can't say it's batal. We can't pretend that the first seya was batal and now it's all hullin or proportionally mostly hullin, and then so the second seya is batal also. But the Mishnah concludes, Rabbi Shimon matir. Rabbi Shimon allows it. Rabbi Shimon allows us to look at this as if the first seya became batal and ole before the second seya came in, even though he hasn't been ole, he hasn't been magbi, he hasn't scooped out that replacement seya yet. The Bartner explains, Kishlo noda nefila, moder Rabbi Shimon. It's like, so if he didn't know about it, if one seya of Truma falls in and the guy doesn't know, he has no idea, and then a second seya falls in, definitely it's a problem. Rabbi Shimon agrees it's a problem. When does Rabbi Shimon disagree and say it's mutter? When he saw the first seya fell in, he says, oy vey, I got to go get a scooper and scoop out that truma that fell in, and then Nebuch is the only way to get the scooper and fix the problem. He already knows about the problem. At that point, we consider it batal, and Nebuch, at that point, another one falls in. So Rabbi Shimon allows it to be batal. Of course, he's going to have to take out 2 scoops. So we see the importance of keeping an eye on what's going on, not just physically, but spiritually. Keep an eye on yourself. We all have problems, we all have setbacks. So address them as they come up. Don't wait until the problems pile up, and your hullin's full of truma. And if you're not a Kohen, that's a problem. Address problems as they come up. Good. Mishnah Tes. Say a truma shnafla l'meya. A say of truma fell into 100. So it would be batal. Utchanan, and he does tachina, he grinds it up. It's kernels of wheat or barley or something. He grinds it up. Ufachato, and in the grinding process, you understand some tiny amount gets stuck to the kalim, to the machines, to the grinding implements. So there's a little bit less there. So we might be worried that the hullin decreased proportionally more than the truma, and it's no longer batal. But the Mishnah rules, Keshem shepachato hullin, just like the hullin decreased in volume from a little bit being stuck to the residue on the sides of the containers, kach pachat and truma. So too, he grinds it up the truma. You also lose equally in the truma, mutter, and it's still batal, still ole. Now in this first case, the truma was batal in 100 of hullin. But what about the next case? Say a truma shnavlam chod memeya. Say if truma falls into 99 of hullin, tachanin v'chotiru, and he ground them, and this was high quality, plump kernels of wheat. So he ended up with more volume. They're chotiru. There's more there than when he started with. We say keshem shechotiru hullin, just like the hullin expanded in volume, this high quality plump kernels. Kachotiru truma. So too, the truma expanded equally. Ve'asar. So even though you ended up with more volume, we can't say the hullin added more proportionally than the truma. So we still say it's not batal because the original was not batal. Im yadua, but if you know, shechitin shel hullin yafot mishal truma, that the hullin kernels were from a different batch, and they were very plump kernels that generate a lot of flour when you grind them, not a lot of psolit sticking to the containers. Mutter, because the hullin kernels are going to generate more volume than the inferior truma kernels, so we can assume they expanded. And since there was, you understand, almost enough to be mevatel, now you're going to have enough to be mevatel after you grind it up. The Bartanura brings from the Yerushalmi, you could even grind it lichatchila if you know for sure you're going to get batel because it's almost batel and the grains of hullin are more plump. Even though we usually don't allow someone to be mevatel and iser lichatchila, but because you always grind the wheat kernels to make the dough, that's what's normal to do. You're not trying to be mevatel, you're just trying to process it normally, and it's going to come out as batel in this case. The Mishnah concludes, say if truma fell into less than 100 of truma, hullin, and then after that more hullin fell in. So maybe one seah fell into 99 hullin, and then another seah or two falls into the mixture of hullin. So now what you end up with is one seah of truma in 101 or more of hullin. Im shogeg mutter. If this was all an accident, he didn't put it on purpose, then it's mutter, it becomes batel, because it was an accident to add all the truma to get the volume needed. Imazid, if it was on purpose, asr. We have a concept, ein mevatlin isser lechatchila. We don't go and mevatel isser. That's the general concept. It remains asr if somebody tries to mevatel isser. And this happens in the kitchen, lemaisa, if somebody accidentally spills milk into the chicken soup, and there's a big clump of milk in the chicken soup, they can't say, all right, throw in some more chicken, so we have way more chicken than the milk, and it'll be batel. No, we're not mevatel iser lechatchila. Shkoyach,